Well, my purpose here, well, first in Fiji, is really as a culinary envoy, sort of culinary engagement from the U.S. to Fiji by way of the American Embassy here in Fiji. And specifically here at Veg Fest is to showcase and speak with people about plant-based food and illustrate that through a dish that we developed where we focused on a complex way of flavors, but really very, very simple. Complex in that we layered very good things that are good for the body and also tasty for the palate, and are with ingredients that are local. And we're celebrating Fijian culture, and with that, celebrating Fijian farmers and celebrating just the Fijian heritage through these very well-known ingredients and plants, and really speaking to the audience about health and how they could, essentially assemble these ingredients that they already know into something that is very tasty and that also promotes health. So I think that it's a great place to be one because it's just so abundant. There is so much abundance, and the soil is so good. So much grows here without much effort. And so, from that standpoint, really the conversation is to introduce to certain people in the population throughout the time we've been here about that reality, and to really have a deeper understanding of just balancing those ingredients and how easy it can be for people to opt into a lifestyle where plants are a central point of their plate. So, I see it obviously from a very global perspective, and I would say that here in Fiji, similar things are happening all over the world, but here specifically, you seem to see how there increasingly becomes there's a preference being developed for more processed foods and foods that add very little nutritional value for people's lives, essentially. And so what it does is that it creates a tipping aspect or a tipping point to whether it's weight regulation, when it comes to diabetes, etc., because it may not be balanced, and so the body usually reflects that by way of these comorbidities, right? And so when you look at the figures here in Fiji, they're demonstrating that in alarming rates. Yeah, it's also, I think, there are many ways. It's not one way to really engage this, because it takes all of our ideas. But really, it's also understanding what you have. You have so much wealth when it comes to ingredients, when it comes to your culture connected to food, when it comes to your lineage, whether it's by family or territory, and what grows there. And a lot of times it's reconnecting to that, because the answers have always been there. And sometimes when you separate from that, or are allowed to separate, it's when the issues happen. And so it's really about reconnecting to those ancestral foods. The answers are there, and thinking about how maybe people in previous generations ate, and maybe accommodating some of that to modernity and to today, so that some of the things have been lost, but they can be regained, and they can be done with a twist. But it's honoring what's here, what's been here, and will actually take you to the future, and allow you to sustain and be healthy. that if people have the information, that they do make right choices. And the information is really an information that is open-ended and allows for people to pose questions and just really to state, you know, whatever's going on in their lives, what's preventing them, and maybe what could be helpful for them that will allow them to enter into a space that now health is a priority to them, or maybe access, or maybe a way to rethink what's readily available to them, what they think is nutritious. And education is a big part, and culture can do that also by reconnecting everybody to what's already been here and what's here and what is the possibility of what could sustain everyone moving forward.